Hey, everybody. Thank you for the intro. So my name is Paul-Adrien. I am one of the co-founders at Sentry. And today I will talk about how to add long-lasting utilities to your NFT project, whether you are a creator or a brand. So before I do that, just want to speak a bit about what I do and why my experience is relevant to talk about this topic. So we built at Sentry an infrastructure that makes it very easy for creators and brands to manage all the utilities that comes with their NFT project for their tokenized community, or what we'd like to call NFT-powered memberships. And if you're wondering what is an NFT-powered membership, it's basically the same thing as a regular membership, but it's using the blockchain technology. So you can think about members club, golf club, loyalty programs from brands. But the main difference is that if it's NFT powered, well, the membership is on-chain. And so the holder is the true owner of their memberships. And that changed a lot of things. Oh, OK. So NFTs are super new, right? They came out in, well, we can argue, beginning of 2018. And so the question is, how can we talk about long-lasting utility since we have so little data on the space? If I had to be the devil advocate, I would say, well, you know, the title of representation makes no sense because it's so recent, you don't have enough data to prove it's long-lasting. But you know what's not new? Regular memberships. They've existed for centuries or years and years and years, whether it's a private member club, whether it's a loyalty program from a brand. And so the first recommendation I would have is for people that want to create long-lasting utility for their project, whether you're a brand or a creator, is to look at what has been done in non-Web3, right? Look at regular membership programs. So we see so many people trying to, you know, reproduce what is done by a specific NFT project, and it works or not, but look at what was very successful in the traditional membership space, because often you can replicate those in Web3. Different project, same utilities. So through my role at Sentry, before we built the platform, we've interviewed hundreds of brands launching NFT projects, creators, and of course, we discussed what were the utilities. We wanted to build a platform that were made for them. And although it's true that there are many different types of utilities, they can really vary and be, you know, very specific to some project. And I will talk about some of those very specific utilities later on. The truth is, utilities are quite recurrent, the main type of utilities. And those being, you know, I'm sure you all know about them, but I'll just list them. They are access to exclusive products, access to exclusive events, and access to exclusive product or VIP experiences. And so the second recommendation I would have is to not overcomplicate. We see projects, they try to come up with the most ingenious utility that no one has done before. It's more important to have a strong project, a strong product, and a strong community, and just have the simple utilities that work well. So adding utility is easy, making it last is hard. We have seen many projects that come up with utilities for their holders. It works well at the beginning, and then it's just no one actually uses the utility. So what's very difficult is to make it last through time. And one of the main recommendations I would have here is to make it dynamic. Utilities needs to be completely, constantly managed and improved. And something we've seen being quite successful is doing co-utility. So working with other projects, other brands that also have tokenized community, and basically saying, well, if you hold the NFT of our partner, you can enjoy the benefit from our ecosystem and vice versa. And although this seems something that can, you know, seems very obvious, in the regular membership world, in the regular traditional world, it's actually very complicated for two brands to say, oh, if you're part of this loyalty program, you can enjoy the benefit of my loyalty program. It's possible, and we see it, but it is complicated. In Web3, it is super easy to have a joint program. all you need to do when you have a token-gated offer, as we say, is in the entry requirement, you say you need this smart contract address or this one. That's it. And so that's the beauty of our space. It allows for utilities cross projects in a very easy and efficient way. And we've seen this being very successful by finding the right partners and just making the utilities more lively. So who creates the utilities for our project, right? So usually it would be the brands behind the NFT-powered membership program or the creators that launched the program. But there's actually a third party that can do it, and it's the holders. The holders themselves can create utilities for the project. If your community is strong enough, they might themselves find ways for the other members of the tokenized program to enjoy the benefits. For example, someone may have a restaurant or a hotel chain or a store and can decide that all the other members of the tokenized community get a discount of 10% or whatever the amount they would want. And the interesting thing is that they don't even need to be actual members of the community. Actually, anyone can provide any utility to any project. And this is probably the fourth piece of advice I have is let the holders create some of the utilities if you can. It's a model that's still very new, but we see platforms that also allow for the holders to easily provide utilities for the projects. And when they're community-led, they can be very efficient. And to lead back to the long-lasting aspect, if you create a good loop where holders can provide utility, then that can make the community stronger and stronger, and those utilities can last through time. So I want to finish on some exciting use cases for the future that we've seen at Sentry. So I talked earlier that keep the utilities simple, but I'm actually going to contradict myself and speak about one here that I've recently discussed with a potential client that I find very exciting. So there is a TV show coming out on a massive network this year in 2023. And I won't mention the name because I don't want to have any problem. But basically, it is going to have an NFT collection associated with the TV show. And there's a bunch of cool things that can come with it, right? You can do voting on the show. You may have your character as part of the show if you are an owner of many of their NFTs. But there is a specific utility that I find fascinating, is the fact that you might be able to watch the show through a token-gated third platform, whereby you don't need a subscription to watch the show. You can just hold the NFT. So if it's a show you like, instead of buying, I don't know how many subscriptions you guys have, but I have way too many. So instead of buying another subscription to watch a specific show, well, now maybe you have the option to just hold the NFT, and that's what gives you the access to watch the show. So the subscription model here can be a bit transformed in exciting ways. And of course, there's a lot of rights and so on that would be debated here. But what's exciting is that it might be a new way to access content that was very centralized before, and now we see this new type of use cases. Lastly, another interesting use case that I've discussed recently, a Web3 agency might develop a digital certificate for a car manufacturer. And so in some countries, if you own a car, and you lose the paper saying you own the car, well, you might have difficulty proving it's actually your car. And so they're going to issue an NFT as a proof of ownership for your car. And so, of course, that's great for security reasons and to prove if it's your car and for aftercare. But you can even think about a conference like this one that says, if you're an owner of our car brand, you can just show up with a QR code that proves the ownership and access the conference and meet all the other owner of a specific brand. And so those are the type of exciting use cases that I really look forward in the future. And I'm on time. Thank you so much.